Hello YouTube, Reddit Math here, and welcome back to Darkest Dungeon, where we're going to be starting a new game that is redder than ever, what with the Crimson Court DLC coming out. We're going to be playing with the Crimson Court districts and Flagellant all enabled. I actually don't know too much about the Crimson Court DLC other than, you know, vampires. Districts, the new district system, upgrade your hamlet with buildings, or by building all new structures in addition to the original buildings, and Crimson Court includes the courtyard region and all associated quests, monsters, bosses, treasure, and storylines. And of course, the Flagellant. He's all bloody. Got it. The question of... Well, that's interesting. So they've changed the name to Blood Moon. The question of difficulty. Blood Moon is Stygian and Crimson Court. Very interesting. Decision made a while ago, really. But after I've got over 300 hours in Darkest Dungeon, several hundred episodes up on YouTube, I think I could use a while still challenging, faster and more forgiving than normal sort of campaign. That sounds like a nice, refreshing palate cleanse for me at the time being. So we're going to go ahead and go with Radiant. As is customary around here, we are going to be making the Red Estate, though. And I think we're probably gonna just skip over the opening cinematic. I think I've seen it enough times at this point. As much fun as the old road is, and Wayne June's voice is great, we're gonna get plenty of it. Don't you worry. The stagecoach is destroyed, the caretaker is gone, we have to make the journey to the hamlet on foot. How did the caretaker get back? Does anyone ever question that? If he was with us on the stagecoach crashed, and then only our two heroes make it back. Like, I mean, is he just 100% in collusion with everything else? Is that the story that we're going with here? All right. I think we all know the rub at this point. Map navigation, of course.
Brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead.
We're going to be just pushing forward.
Dispatch
now,
this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival.
Now, perhaps I should actually be reading through some of the tutorials. I'm assuming that, like, eventually they're going to explain to me the districts and any of the new Crimson Court mechanics as well. So, you know.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
It might be worthwhile for me to actually be paying attention when that pops up. But for the time being, at least, we're just going to click through. I think we actually always just kind of want to avoid this campsite, right? Like, it's almost never good. Oh,
leave nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten places.
What was the one? I've definitely had, like, one start on camera.
Send these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
Where I got, like, just straight up, like, dead people inside the tent. It immediately added stress, and, like, that was Bad News Bears. Like, that's happened before, right? I didn't just have a... Stop doing that. Didn't just have, like, a terrible nightmare about it. At least I hope that's the case. We should be able to dispatch this guy relatively quickly and easily to, like, one more real solid hit against him. Assuming Reynald goes first, he actually does. That is awesome. He's going to bleed out.
Size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Yeah, yeah. And not quite enough bleed. Gonna have enough HP to do one rush shot against us. It more or less just bounces off of our coat. Oh my. And then we're able to do this.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Alright, continue. It's gonna be a bandage trap chest. We don't have a key, so it's just always bad. Is this what the always bad is? That's probably right? Alright, we'll go ahead and get back to the hamlet. More or less speedrunning our way through, you know, the first encounter. That's probably insulting to actual speedruns, right? No positive or negative quirks. I'm okay with that. And I'm kind of interested to see what the hamlet looks like under the new district system.
Welcome home, such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
Well, it looks exactly the same. Districts are locked. Oh, okay, sure, of course. We're still in more or less tutorial central, so I'm not actually that surprised.
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
And we should probably go ahead and grab...
Word is traveling. Ambition is stirring in distant cities. We can use this.
Grab at least one upgrade there. Unfortunately, we won't be able to get a second one, so somebody's going out on 2 back-to-back adventures, and that's going to be a little bit bad for them.
Most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion.
Is he laughing as he points his way into the graveyard?
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
Alright, this is probably going to be the save game where I actually try to do just all of the bosses, because I want to see all of the unique trinkets that, like, got added to the game after the last time I beat all of the unique bosses. And there isn't much more you can do in town right now. Okay, so we'll worry about districts later.
A mecca of madness and morbidity. Your work begins.
A little bit later, perhaps, once we have done the continuation of the tutorial first outing into the ruins.
The cost of preparedness, measured now in gold, later in blood.
So we're going to take a fairly light amount of provisions. Half stack of torches, 1 key, 1 of each. We're going into the ruins, so why not? Oh, we've already got 1 holy water. So like something like that. And a shovel. Yeah, we'll go a shovel. I think that'll do just fine for our first outing. It's not going to be too bad, right? It's only the tutorial dungeon. It's always the same exact ruins dungeon. You would really think by this point I would have, like, maybe memorized what it actually looks like and what provisions are needed. A smart man would do that. I am not claiming to be that smart man. Alright. Of course, a couple of our characters stressed out right at the beginning due to being level 0 as they come down here. That's cool. There's, like, actually a torchy thing in it.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
That's new, right? Like, the torchy thing wasn't always there. Just a little bit of rabble. Nothing that our seasoned adventurers can't take care of, right? You know, by seasoned, of course, I mean level 1 and 0 adventurers can't take care of. I'll, like, guarantee a kill against him.
Another abomination,
Or
cleansed from our lands.
probably kill him. Yeah.
Back to the pit.
Super easy. Okay. We got this. There's a weird refractory period, like
A handsome reward for a task well performed.
like a highway blindness coming off of, like, oh, I just lost miserably in, you know, like, Stygian difficulty, the darkest dungeon against, like, a shambling horror, and then you're like,
Even
oh, it's a
the
bone
cold
rabble.
Stone seems bent on preventing passage.
Right, they die in 1 hit. I forgot that was a thing that, like, could actually happen with enemies in this game. So there's a little bit of maybe an adjustment period that I need there that I don't quite have yet. Alright, tell you what, we're going to do that to him, and I think then Grape Shot Blast makes sense. I was hoping for a little bit more up front. Tell you what, we'll do that there. He'll die before he acts. Then we get... He's dead. We'll take a little bit of stress and nothing more. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it was more than a little bit, but it's still fine.
This is how a life is taken.
And 2 HP left. She will die before she acts. That is awesome. Also means we might as well heal ourselves up just a little bit.
The slow death, unforeseen. unforgiving.
The crit also means that we actually got a little bit of our stress back, which is pretty cool. Alright, nothing here. We get Curio. We get Curio. Room battle with treasure. Room battle with Curio. Let's go room battle with treasure. That makes more sense, right? I'm not wrong there.
A fortune waiting to be spent.
Man, I like super over provisioned, or like this has been the best for provision loot I've ever seen. Like, it gave us a shovel, we've gotten keys. Again, it is the tutorial, and I don't think the rewards are scripted. I think they're still just rolls on the loot table, but still. Yeah, more or less a repeat of the last thing we did. Somebody will hit him at least lightly. We need to do 6 damage for the damage over time to kill him. So another good grape shot blast opportunity. And then I'm thinking we combine this with a judgment here, and then a wasn't really wanting him to go first. I was about to say then a zealous accusation, which gets the kill. We don't actually need to do that now. I'm thinking instead we'll stun. We don't need to do that now because he's going to die from damage over time. So instead we'll do something like that. Might have been better with like a disorienting blast to try to rotate her around, but ultimately we dodge her attack and it just doesn't matter. Alright, so we got 2 characters that are going to die on their own, and we'll kill him, and that's that.
Give them no quarter.
Okay, it's not exactly that. I guess we can try to heal ourselves up a little bit. Probably overkill. I mean, they're good habits to have though, right? Like, kind of? Maybe? A little bit? Probably just overkill.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Alright, and we do have so many keys. Awesome. Pop another torch. And keep a running. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. With rounding, we get to skip 1 room, right? I'm pretty sure we get to skip 1 room with rounding. Ugh. They're like really Volognas. I'm gonna go with Valones, which is probably wrong, but somebody will probably correct me in the comments. They've really been targeting you when it comes to the stress there, and I'm sorry for that. It's not like I had much of a choice, but I'm still sorry for it. Oh man, I kind of feel partially at fault because of the whole well, we could kill her this turn, but we'll, and then like taking a stress attack that did 20 stress to her. But I mean, that trap, there's nothing I could have done with the trap, right? As soon as you eat, you of course get hungry, because that's how food works in the world. Ugh. You would really hope that something would have fixed that by now. Right, like, there's gotta be a system. I know a lot of people have railed against the hunger system. I'm mostly fine with it, but I do think it's rather silly where, like, oh, I just fed this character a whole bunch of food, and then they're immediately like, oh, I'm ravenously hungry, what do I do? Like, and then, you know, they can take stress and physical damage from it. And you're like, I fed you literally on the last square. Like, why? Why? Alright. And we're getting a little shadowy, but I think we'll be okay here. Finally an opportunity to get, never mind, an opportunity to get everything out of Plague Bomb there. But of course, we missed with one of the shots. It's okay, though. I'm thinking, like, might be a decent time to stun. Ooh, resisted it. Should probably just go for the more or less guaranteed kill.
More Mortality
Ow.
clarified in a single strike.
That's so much more damage than you have any right to be doing to her. Oh, man. Alright. Well, we're certainly coming out of this with plenty of stress on our characters. Plenty of stress on our characters. Bleed is really not that meaningful here.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
So instead we'll try something like critically hitting with that. Nice. Nice. That basically was firing on all cylinders. Got the stun, cleared the corpse, pulled him to the front, etc., etc.
Executed with impunity.
Was a bit of an unfortunate miss that happened there, though. Either way, I mean, we're coming out of this fight, like, totally fine. Yay! Especially after landing that. Alright. Musket ball shot. We just need to do 1 damage here. We do 5.
Destroy them all.
Ooh, almost cooked away from it. The blood is a special type of supply item. Any collected bottles of the blood will be retained in your estate at quest end. They may be added to the provisions of embarking parties. The blood is rare. Spread it around wisely amongst those in need. Okay. The call is unyielding. The urge is irresistible. Only the blood will quell this thirst. That's awesome. You know, like, maybe a little off topic, but sort of convenient timing. Vampire the Masquerade, like the RPG pen and paper style.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles, paid for in blood.
Is currently in, like, playtesting alpha for the 5th edition of the game after, like, a more or less, I want to say long hiatus, but I'm actually, like, far more abreast of this story than I want to get into, but White Wolf Entertainment being acquired by a video game maker in order to make a video game out of it, never making that video game, sort of stopping publishing, eventually publishing rights being bought by another company, then eventually the video game maker devolving themselves of the pen and paper studio, and then them, like, reforming, and now they're about to make a new addition to the pen and paper game. But there's vampires in it, and that's why it's relevant here. I actually found that out relatively recently and thought that was pretty cool. I don't know that I will actually play that pen and paper RPG, but I have played that pen and paper RPG in the past, although it has been something like 15 years, and now I feel old. It's okay, though. It's okay, though. I am curious to see...
I see something long absent in the sunken faces of passers-by. A glimmer of hope.
I am curious to see, however, how Darkest Dungeon is going to handle the vampiric curse and all that kind of stuff. So primarily we're going to be concerned about the fact that we've got 2 characters that it would be irresponsible to send them back out, right? Like, they have too much stress. But what we didn't get here were characters capable of replacing them. The Antiquarian is actually kind of a hard hit. I don't know how I feel about that. You know, that actually reminds me. I don't think I ever played with this, but I'm kind of interested to see the recruiting options here. Okay, so it's on by default. Deck-based Stagecoach. Okay. So I know at some point this got introduced. I believe it was an optional turn on, and I'm not sure I ever did, but okay, that's cool. Just sort of oh, we can turn off, like, all kinds of stuff that people have complained about over time now. I find that really interesting, that's kind of the answer was eventually just like, all right, fine. It's like, everybody hates it. Here's a toggle, turn it off. Yeah, the only thing I wanted to look at was the deck-based Stagecoach, which was just setting so that you don't get like 5 antiquarians and nothing else. Anyway, we're going to be recruiting all of these guys.
You will be laughing still at the end.
Because we will need all of those guys. But we have got a very weird party to try to take out next time. As if we send both of these guys in for stress relief, which I feel it would be irresponsible not to do, then we're going to have a party consisting of like Reynald, Thmas, Ide, and Curtis. Which, I mean, first slot, second slot, third slot, fourth slot, something like that. It might work. I mean, it'll have to work. But at least we'll get to worry about that in the next video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to subscribe. There's lots more on the channel. You could leave a like or a comment if you have anything to say about this or any of my other videos. And I will catch you guys next time.